Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Maeve and I don't usually do news updates, but I wanted to talk about something that I saw on social media this week. Something that I'm very excited about and is not exactly Sims related. The other day I was scrolling Facebook because I'm a millennial, so I still use Facebook. And I came across a post that was made by a page called Sims Community, which is not like an official page by like Maxis or EA or anything like that, but it is a page with a lot of followers. And the post was a link which read, Maxis' upcoming simulation game is apparently called Lost Astral. Now, when you click this link, which I will include in the description below this video, it takes you to the simscommunity.info page, which I do visit on occasion. And here's what the post says. It says, back in July 2021, we first reported the first details on Maxis' new IP, which we can also call a new franchise considering it's a standalone different game. We got the information that the upcoming simulation game from Maxis is, well, in fact, a simulation HD title with the following bits of information. It's a simulation HD game, PC and console, developed or prototyped in Unreal Engine 4. The game features a 3D menu navigation. Very curious as to what that means. Includes super abilities, comes with co-op player versus environment events. We also have gotten the first look of what the game might be about thanks to the surfaced splash Maxis screen that you can see down below. It features a purple sky with stars, possibly hinting that the new simulation is space related. A few days ago, there's been a huge link from NVIDIA GeForce Now's streaming service, which allows you to stream games directly without downloading from their platform. Inside of the leak, some players were able to uncover a list of over 18,000 video games, including some of the ones that have yet to be released. In that list is also an unannounced game from EA and Maxis called Lost Astral. If we match the potential name leak with the splash screen that was leaked a few months ago, we have almost a confirmed title from EA and Maxis that's yet to be officially announced. Note that the name Lost Astral could also be a project name and not a final name for this upcoming simulation. A list of games that may be in development or have been developed that may be integrated into NVIDIA's GeForce Now streaming service has been leaked through their API. Though to be taken with some skepticism, the leak has been condensed into a GitHub repository. Looking through the games, I noticed a game titled Lost Astral by the developer EA Maxis. To remind you again, there are multiple development studios inside EA and Maxis working on different titles, including Maxis Redwood working on The Sims 4 and the next generation Sims game, which many suspect to be Sims 5. Maxis Austin working on a brand new IP and the next generation Sims game, again probably Sims 5, and Maxis Europe working on The Sims 4. So when will EA Maxis officially announce Lost Astral? We honestly have no clue. However, we'll definitely keep you posted as new information surfaces. So when I was looking at this post, there were several comments already that were saying the same thing that I was also thinking. And a lot of us who are old enough to remember what I'm about to talk about are probably thinking the same as myself and these other people, which is, please be Spore 2, please be Spore 2, please be Spore 2. Now, if you're not old enough to remember Spore 2, let me tell you about it. This is one of my favorite games probably that I've ever played. So Spore was a game that came out in 2008. So this was like Sims 2 era, back when Will Wright was still heading the Maxis team. I believe this was actually before EA bought Maxis, but I could be mistaken. And the game consisted of 5 different stages, each which were played completely differently from the others. And you could consider each stage to be like a different stage of the development of a species over an extremely long period of time. I'm talking about billions of years. In the first stage, you start out as a single cell organism, and this is actually my favorite stage of the game because it's so relaxing. So you create your organism and you float around in this watery, top-down, two-dimensional space where your objective is to eat whatever matter you've chosen to consume, whether you're a carnivore or an herbivore, and also to avoid being eaten yourself. Also, while you're doing this, you're collecting like body parts, I guess you could call them, and you collect these body parts so that you can use them in the evolution of your species. When you finish the cell stage, you move on to the creature stage, and it's very similar. You have to consume food, avoid being eaten yourself, but you also have to make choices in regards to whether you want to befriend other species or attack them. And this stage is in 3D, so there's a lot more to explore, and you continue to build up your creature by collecting more body parts, and you explore the continent by moving from one nest to create another nest in another location multiple times. After the creature stage is the tribal stage, and in the tribal stage you have competing tribes which you must either ally with or destroy, obliterate. You have a certain number of tribes people who you have control over, kind of like a family in The Sims, and you divide up the labor. So you know, some of them make musical instruments so that they can ally with other tribes, and some of them will make weapons so that they can fight other tribes. Some of them are actually doing the allying or the fighting. You have to have some of them gathering food. You can have livestock. You have to keep the population of your tribe up because other tribes are going to try and attack yours as well. So there's a lot going on, and it's more like a real-time strategy game. Once you finish the tribal stage, you enter the civilization stage, and this is where you're building and managing cities. You're competing for the resource of spice on your planet, and you have to either ally with other cities or conquer them, and your ultimate goal is going to be global domination. Or I guess another way you could look at it is global unity. And then finally you reach the space stage, which is where you are traveling from star system to star system, finding other global civilizations, yeah, which are also called empires. And the final objective of this stage and of the game is to reach the center of the galaxy, which is guarded by a species called the Groks. The Groks are extremely difficult to ally with and also extremely difficult to win against in battle, and I have yet to figure out how to beat this game. But I have made it to the edge of that barrier that they have formed around the center of the galaxy, and I just haven't been able to get past them. Apparently, when this game was in development, they originally had planned to have even more stages in the game. Like, they were going to have a molecular stage and an aquatic stage and a city stage, a terraforming stage, which I don't even know what that would mean, but those didn't make it into the game. Now, I've actually been meaning to make a Spore video for a really long time because there's a lot of features features in Spore when it comes to creating items that you're going to place or use in the game that I think would be a really good basis for customization of furniture and items and just building all together in the Sims franchise. And I might make a video on that some other time, but to summarize, the way that you build things in Spore is by taking different polygons, I guess, and stacking them inside each other and on top of each other in order to create larger, more complex shapes. And you do this with the organisms that you create in the game, you know, the creatures. In the tribal stage, you do this to create the clothing that they're going to wear. In the civilization stage, you use this to create the buildings that they're going to live in and the vehicles that they're going to drive, their boats, their airships. And then in the space stage, you use it to create your actual spaceship that you explore the galaxy in. And it just has me thinking how cool it would be if we could build our own couches and build our own stoves and refrigerators and build our own tables and chairs and beds. And this would be a really excellent system for getting throw pillows or blankets to lock onto couches and beds and chairs the way that some custom content works. And so I've been meaning to kind of make a video talking about that, but I just never did. But now that we have this sort of leak about Lost Astral, and you know, as I mentioned earlier in the video when I was reading from the Sims community page, this is probably just a working title. We don't really know what kind of game this is going to be. It could be more of like a superheroes sort of game. There's just so much that we don't know. But to be quite honest with you, I haven't had a lot of time to make videos lately. I've been really busy. I just started a really cool new job, and I haven't really talked about this on the channel, but I actually lost my last job in February, and so I've had a lot of extra time in these past several months to focus on the channel and making videos, and I just haven't really had that kind of time this week. But I still really wanted to stick to my schedule and get a video out, and I'm hoping that I'll have more time for Sims gameplay very soon. I know it's been a while since I did a tutorial, and it's also been a while since I did a legacy game, and it's really been a while since I did any Sims content because, you know, last week I had the pets video, and the week before that we were doing the giveaway results, and the week before that I was so busy between interviews and editing for the results that were coming out the following week that I really only had time to give you a quick update to show up for that premiere. And I think it was the week prior to that when I last gave you any kind of Sims related content, and that would have been my renovation of one of my 10-minute builds that I've done in the past, and I have other 10-minute builds that I also want to do renovations of. So there's a lot that I want to do on the channel, but I just haven't had a lot of time for it. And I'm also probably gonna have to switch up my schedule a little bit because having videos come out on Mondays really might not be conducive to my new schedule. We're kind of gonna have to see how that plays out. Anyway, that's gonna be about it from me for this week, but please let me know in the comments what you think. Have you ever played Spore before? Did you love it as much as I did? If you haven't played it, do you think you want to? How would you feel about a Spore remake, whether you've played Spore before or not? Does that sound interesting to you? And how likely do you think it is that this is actually what they're working on? And if you don't think that it's a Spore remake, what do you think it is? Anyway, that's just some stuff to think about for this week, and if I see any updates on this, I might make another video about it. By the way, if you liked this video and you want to see more news-related videos from me in the future, let me know by hitting the like button. And if you're new here, I'd really love it if you would subscribe and join me again for future videos. But in the meantime, I hope that you'll be kind to yourself and be kind to others, and always remember to stay hydrated, and I'll see you next time. Bye.